Hello my little gurus, it's Tom from Mazda Gurus, and today I'm back with another handover video of the controls on your new Mazda MX-30. Again, the reason that I've been doing a little selection of these videos recently is because of the coronavirus. You know, we've not been able to get in the car and show you how your new car works, so hopefully sending this link to the video, at least if you get the basics nailed down from what I can tell you here, then at least you'll be able to know kind of how your car works, hopefully before you take delivery, or maybe if you have taken delivery already, you might pick up some little hints and tips that I'm about to show you. But unfortunately, I am not the MX-30 guru here at Gloucester. That would be Chelsea, our service manager, so I've nicked her card this morning so that I can do a little video for you. I'm going to try and go into as much detail as I usually do, but there might be a few things that I miss out, or maybe that I'm unaware of. So again, as usual, please pop them in the comments below if there's anything you feel that I don't know and need to know for future reference. So first things first, the model we're looking at today is the MX-30 GT Sport Tech. So it is the very, very top of the range, and this one's finished in the lovely soul red crystal metallic paint with the brilliant black roof and grey metallic side panels. Now in the UK, this is a cost of £1,800 extra as an option, but I'll tell you what, it is so worth the money. It just makes the car look absolutely fantastic. But enough about that. Let's go on to the basics. So first thing is going to be charging. Okay, you should be aware that your MX-30 is an electric car, therefore you do get an array of wires and cables that come with the car. So this is going to be your main one, which is going to be your normal quick rapid charge cable. Okay, which this is going to be very difficult to do while I'm filming. Bear with me as I just drop everything. Now, if your MX-30 is currently locked, easy way to tell is if it's got the door mirrors closed. The charging flap shouldn't open or won't open. Okay, so what you can always do is get your key out, and you've got the lock button at the very top here, unlock button in the middle. This bottom one here will turn off the motion sensor inside the car, so you know if you leave a dog or a child in there while you nip out to get a pint of milk, that will stop the alarm from blaring off. But as long as you just hit the unlock button, that will then release the charging flap. Okay, before anybody asks, because I already had this question this morning, I have no idea what this charging bit here is for. I don't know if it's for maybe different countries, but here in the UK we're going to be using this top charger here. All right, you pick up your charging cable, slot him in, and then the other end will go to wherever you're charging up, whether it's at home or at Tesco, or so I've got to spin around this way, wherever. You just flop it into your charging point, slot it in, and your charging point should go green. Green means it's charging. All right, obviously these ones that we've got here are for commercial use, so our two chargers that we've got here at the Mazda dealership, your home wall box charger will look very, very similar. Again, ones that you find at supermarkets and service stations will do the same job. But yeah, you will get, if I can walk over this wire without tripping myself over, you will get this little green light that's on. Pulsating means it's charging, and as far as I'm aware, a green light staying on will mean it's fully charged. You can use a 3-pin plug if you want, which you do get with the car. We haven't actually opened ours yet because we don't use it. This end here is exactly the same as what I've just plugged in, but you then get a standard 3-pin plug, so you can charge it from the mains at home if you haven't got a charger. Now Mazda do say it will take roughly about 15 hours to charge it from empty using that cable, whereas your home wall box charger will take 5-6 hours, or your commercial ones like this, you can get it from 0 to 100% in just over an hour. So yeah, that's the basics of charging. Now again, because I'm still learning myself, I do believe that it shows you on your dashboard your charging status. All right, so we're charging complete, look at that. So 100% charge. It's telling we've got 108 miles, which will obviously increase when we use the regenerative braking system, but obviously if yours is still charging, it will give you a percentage there. You can know exactly how long you've got until the car is charged. Okay, as for entry to the car, so as you've already seen, you have got the key. So if you don't have one of the two top higher spec models, you will just need to use your normal key to lock and unlock the car. But if you do have one with the keyless entry system, you can just walk up to the car, put your hand inside the handle, the car unlocks for you, and you can get in and out. Okay, works the same way backwards. If you close the door, and you've got it set up, the car will beep to say it's ready to lock. If you walk away a couple of meters with the key, the car will lock itself for you as well. Okay, what it does do as well is it locks in your charging cable in place. This is where we find out it doesn't work, but that is locked in place. I can't actually move that. Okay, so if you're ever struggling and wondering why you can't get that cable out, again, if you just unlock the car, there we go, that will release your charging cable. All right, pro tip. Right, onto I think that's probably about it for the outside. So onto the interior of the car and your bells and whistles and the bits that you probably want to know how they work. So as with all of our Mazdas, they're very similar indeed. So if you know how your CX-30 works, if you know how your Mazda 2 works, if you know how your MX-5 works, the MX-30 works exactly the same way. But again, if you're new to Mazda, hopefully you'll find some tips. So first bit is your rear doors just here. So the MX-30 is kind of a bit of an arc to some heritage that Mazda have got in the past. So we used to do a sports car called the RX-7, which had suicide doors, folding doors that go outwards like that, which is pretty cool. So Mazda put these in here, say, just to show a bit of heritage, I suppose. But yeah, it was really cool. Makes loading kids in easier. It's a bit of fun for them as well. I am very tall, so this is my seating position. So I'm about 6 foot 6'1", so you will get little kiddies in the back here. They have got, again, pro videoing, excuse me, you have got your cup holders in the back. Oh, there's no USBs. I thought there was USBs in the back. I do apologise. So, nowhere to charge their phones in the back, unfortunately, but they do have the cup holders, which is more important. You do also have, now this is going to be difficult to demonstrate, you do have these buttons on the back of the driver's seat, okay? Not on the passenger side, but they do on the driver's side. And then this should, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, you are able to move the seat forward so you can get yourself out. There we go. So if you're stuck in the back, if the driver's got out and they forgot to move the seat forward for you, you have got those controls to do it. Okay, now on the driver's side it is all electric, on the passenger side it is all manual, so that'd be why you haven't got the controls in the back here. But if you are the driver and you want to adjust your seat, you have the controls here on the side. So if you haven't got one of these top specs with the electric seats, you will have the traditional handle just underneath that you can pull to go backwards and forwards, and then you'll have a lever on this side to kind of adjust your backrest. But if not, this is your main control here to move the seat backwards and forwards. I'm trying to do this and try and show you. So forwards and backwards like that. You can tilt it to go up and down. So this will change the position of kind of your thigh support and obviously raise the entire seat as well. And then this one here is for your backrest. So again, this just works as going forwards and back. Get yourself in your position. And again, if you have this one here as well, this is your lumbar support. So if you've got a bad back like me, this will push this kind of centre bit of the seat here out and in to maybe just give your back a bit of support so you can go in and out like that. But that is nowhere you're going to see anything of that. It's so subtle. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's how your electric seats will work. Now you do have memory seats as well on the car. Again, only if you have electric seats. You've got memory settings 1 and 2 here. So the way that you're going to set the seat, and I'm not going to do it in Chelsea's car just in case I mess up her seating position, but all you're going to do, you do need to have the car turned on, and then you're going to press and hold the set button, it will beep, and you press and hold 1 or 2 straight away afterwards and it will beep again, and that has then stored that seat to that seating position. Okay, then when you get in the car, if you've got his and hers driving position, you just press 1 or you press 2 and it will move the seat for you into your desired position. Over on the door card here, it's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to waste time going through your windows, your child lock for your windows. This button here will fold in your wing mirrors for you. So if you wiggle into a parking space or a garage, you can just press that, it'll fold them in. And then you can use these directional knobs here to adjust your wing mirrors, so the left side or the right side, depending which of these buttons you press, these knobs, these directional arrows will adjust your wing mirror, okay? We do have a full suite of Bose surround sound system as well, as usual in the top spec Mazdas, okay? The lower grade specs will just get the standard Mazda system, which is very, very good indeed. And then if you find that your car has locked itself and you need to lock or unlock the doors, you can press these buttons here to do it, okay? Right, moving on to, let's do the inside of the car. Tell you what, so always make sure you close the back door first. and then your driver's door. Cool. Right, see if I can zoom out a bit for you as well. There we go. Right, so this is what the interior looks like. If you've never seen an MX-30 interior before, this is it. It's really, really cool. I really like it. Again, a bit of, I'm going to keep using the word heritage, a bit of Mazda heritage here. They've lined the interior with cork, which is very robust and water absorbent. This is, again, a bit of heritage to Mazda. It's down there as well. So Mazda used to be a cork manufacturer. Before they made cars, they made cork bottles, cork for wine bottles, things like that. I believe they then went on to making bicycles, things like that, and then ammunitions for the war, and then they made cars. So yeah, a little bit more heritage in there. Right, so to turn the car on, key, as long as your key is inside the car somewhere, doesn't matter where you put it. As with all of our Mazdas, if you've got an electric car, it's only going to have the stop and the go pedal. So you put your foot on the brake, okay, your start button is just here behind the indicator stalk. Just there we go. Give it a press. And we're on. That is it. We are good to go. It's really freaky the first time that you get an electric car. If you're expecting the kind of the roar of the engine, it just doesn't happen with these cars, which is really, really strange. It takes you a few days to get used to, but it's so quiet. It does sound like you have got kind of a whooshing noise as you start driving, which sounds very much like a spaceship, which I quite like. But yeah, hold on a second. We are on, aren't we? Why isn't it let me turn the steering wheel? That's weird. Oh, there we go. See, right, so if your steering is locked like mine, it won't go very far. It's because I'm still charging. I've got the message there to say that I'm still plugged in and charging, so it won't actually let me start properly or drive off. So that's a good little safety feature I've just learned there. Looking at your dashboard, okay, so as you can see, we have got full charge just here. This is effectively the equivalent of your petrol gauge, okay, so full charge there. You got the temperature of the car just here. They've told you again, we've got 100% charge in the car at the moment, and the car reckons we're going to get 108 miles of range before we have to fill it up or charge it up, okay. As you're probably aware, the MX-30 features a, can never say it, regenerative braking system, which basically means every time you put your foot on the brake, the car recharges itself through a dyno on the wheels. So basically, it harnesses the power that you do from braking and recharges your battery, gives you extra range. Okay, so the way an electric car works is basically completely the opposite to a petrol or diesel car. So petrol or diesel will be more economical at higher speeds or constant speeds, and will be less economical around town. And then an electric car is completely backwards. So when you're consistently doing the same speed, it's gonna the charge is gonna drain. But if you're in traffic, braking consistently, then it will recharge itself, and therefore makes it more economical. You go further on a charge. Okay. You can have your digital readout here, as in all of our Mazdas, which you can adjust back to an analog needle if you prefer to look at that and cycle through some driving info, maintenance monitor just there, for example. The way that I'm cycling between these screens is this info button on the steering wheel. So I prefer to have a digital readout, but some people do, as I say, prefer the traditional analog needle. Buttons on the steering wheel, again, I'm not going to go through them too much, but they're pretty straightforward. You've got your volume button just here if the camera wants to focus. It doesn't want to focus, as usual. The Samsung letting me down. But you've got your volume for up and down for your radio. You can press it in to mute it, like so. You can see we are muted, and then up and down using the volume knobs there. We have previous and next radio stations if you press up and down here, and we can also change the source, which you can't see. That button there does say source. So you can switch between FM radio, AM radio, Bluetooth if you had a phone connected, and back to DAB again. So quick, easy way to switch between what you're using. Buttons are just at the hand of your fingertips. When you've got your phone connected, if you want to pick up a call or put the phone down, you've got your pick up and phone down buttons there. This button here as well, you can speak to the car, you can give it basic directions, basic instructions, like, you know, tune to Capital or Heart FM or whatever. But if you do have your phone connected by Apple CarPlay, which you will use with the USB slots down here, then this becomes Siri or the Google Assistant, so you can press it, talk to it, ask it to set you an alarm or ask it a question or whatever. Okay, so that's very useful. And on the right hand side now, before everyone starts kicking up a fuss, I know I need to do a video on how the adaptive cruise control works in the speed limiter. We've just not been able to do it because of the COVID situation, not been able to have a couple of us in the car. One of us will need to film while I obviously drive and demonstrate. So again, as usual, I'm going to leave that, but if you are aware of how cruise control works, basically hit your cruise control button, you get the cruise control symbol just there, and you can set your speed with up or down, and that will change these three little dashes to what you're doing. And then this one here, you can increase or decrease the distance that you're following the car in front. Okay, works exactly the same for the speed limiter, so that's potentially for your people who understand cruise control and aren't complete novices. I will go on to that in a later video. Okay, controls down here just above your electric seats. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on these as usual, but TCS is your traction control system, so the car's brain effectively. If you ever need to turn the car's brain off, you press that button. I don't know why you need to do that. The one just here with a P on it that says off is your parking sensors, front and rear, so you can press that, it will disable them. This one here that says view, I'll press it for you and show you. If you have the top spec car with 360 cameras, you can press that and it will turn on your cameras for you, and you can keep pressing it and it will cycle through them all individually for you, and then back to whatever screen you were on. And finally this one here, again as usual, I'm not going to go into this one, it's far too complicated for even my guru knowledge, but this will disable, depending on how many times you press it, it will disable certain safety features on your car, such as the blind spot monitoring, the lane keep assist, the smart city brake support, etc. So again, you probably don't want to press that. Right, moving on to kind of the central area here. Okay, so Mazda have given it this really nice kind of floating center console, which I really like. It's almost like a piece of architecture. It's really well finished. They've given this touchscreen display here in the middle, which is for your air conditioning and your heated seats. There we go. Again, it's not focusing. Why? Sorry guys, you can work it out. So right, I'm just going to go over this very briefly. So on this right hand side here, you have temperature, so you can clearly see red is hot to increase the temperature, blue is cold to decrease the temperature. For some reason they've given you this really nice touch screen just here, and then given you exactly the same buttons on the side here. Don't know, maybe some people prefer to touch the screen rather than buttons, but yeah, that I don't quite understand. And it's the same for the fan speed over here, so I can increase my fan speed here, blowing more air at me, and again I can decrease it or increase it with the button on the side. So it might just be user accessibility, I suppose. You do have your heated seat button for the driver just there. Why doesn't it want to work? Let's assume that works, guys. There's going to be a reason why, maybe because the car's not actually turned on because it's charging. But there you've got your heated steering wheel on or off, and your heated seat you will press as well, and it will go through a three-stage setting of high, medium and low. Okay, and the same for the passenger side over here. You have your heated rear screen on this side. Press that, it'll demist your rear screen, and on this side it will blast your front windscreen with hot air as well to demist it in the morning. Okay, you can turn the entire system off with a push of the button just there. So that's your fans on or off. Okay, I wonder if that makes the heated seats work. No, how weird. You have your hazard button just above, obviously as usual, makes your hazards flash. Air vents, which you can adjust left and right, up and down, all the way around, driver's side, passenger side over the far side. And your screen here in the middle, which is going to be your most used feature. For those that aren't aware, Mazda have got rid of the touchscreen element in the car now. So before you used to be able to touch the screen, and now they've got rid of it. They set the screen a bit further back. It's actually a lot easier to use the controls down here while you're driving. This is a very natural position to have your hand in while you're driving. And very briefly, because we've done so many videos on how, you know, hints and tricks on how this screen works, very briefly, if you are new to Mazda, these are your shortcut buttons around the outside of the knob. You can press this button with a house on it, which will take you to your home screen. This is your main menu effectively. And then we can twist this rotatory knob up and down and click it down like a mouse to select whatever we want on here. So if I wanted to go up to my car information, All I'm going to do is click it down like so, and we're into the car information screen. You can go through your energy efficiency, see what you're doing to the gallon, high voltage battery meter if you want to be nerdy and see what's going on there. I'm not going to go into this too much, but basically that is how it works. You twist and you click, okay? If you make a mistake and want to go back a screen, this button here with the return arrow on it will just take you back, all right, all the way back to your main menu. You've got some shortcut buttons here for your music, for your media, and for your sat nav. So again, if I wanted to go onto the sat nav, I can just press that one and it will skip me straight to the sat nav. And the music, give that a press and I'm back to the radio. Okay, this little knob here is your volume.
That can only mean one thing.
Up and down. You can click it in to mute it, turn it off altogether. And if you want to turn the screen off entirely, you can press and hold this, effectively this power button here, the same one. You can press and hold that for a couple of seconds. It will turn the screen off completely for you. Okay, to bring it back on, again, just press and hold and we're back. Okay, you also have favorites just here. This is a star button for your favorites, so you can press that. It'll bring up your favorites menu, which you can add your favorite, your home destination, your work destination. You can add favorite radio stations, favorite sat nav routes, favorite contacts from your phone, etc. So basically any screen that you're on, if we think Capital, for example, is one of our favorite radio stations, I can just press and hold the star button, for a couple of seconds. It beeps, successfully added to my favorites. If I now press the star button, you can see here that Capital is now one of my favorites, and I can press that to save me having to scroll through all the endless list of radio stations that you get with DAB to find your favorites. So basically creating a little short list of your favorite things. If you weren't aware, which hopefully you were, all electric cars are automatic. Okay, there is no manual, there is no clutch, okay, because they are one gear. Okay, really straightforward. With a traditional automatic, you'd usually have your parking button here would be at the top here, so you just have one long line that you just move the stick up and down. With the MX-30, what you have to do is press this little knob in on the side here. You've got to have your foot on the brake, by the way, guys. You've got to have your foot on the brake to be able to release this. Basically, the car's got to think that you are in control before it'll let you change gear. Push it. Tell you what, guys. Let's not let me do anything while we're charging, are we? Right, let's unplug the charger. Unlock the car so that we can pull our charger out. Stick that on the floor. There you go. This is where you've got to learn the foibles of the car and how it works, what it likes and what it doesn't like. So we're no longer charging, so we are now turned on. There we go. And I can move the steering wheel. Brilliant. So foot on the brake, you can push the little knob, move it over into reverse, cameras will come on, down into neutral, down into drive, and away you go. Okay, now if you're not aware, if you do have your seatbelt plugged in, you will just be able to hit the accelerator and your electric parking brake will release itself. Okay, if you haven't got your seatbelt plugged in, you will have to push it down manually to take it off, or flick it back up to put it on. Okay, and that is basically it. So up into park, across into reverse, down into neutral drive, handbrake off, and away we go. Up into reverse and back we go. Easy as that. Okay, auto hold I'll go into a later lesson. Okay, to be honest with you, that is your basic controls of your MX-30 in probably as much detail as I want to do. It's been a 25-minute video again. Sunroof, if you want to see the sunroof, you do get a sunroof, power tilt and slide sunroof. So up here you have your sunroof button. I'm trying to look through the camera. You can press it up and it will crack the back for you. You can push it forward to uncrack the back and hold on, there we go, push it back to release it. I'm not used to having a car with a sunroof, if I'm honest, guys. And push it forwards to bring it back over. There we go. We've also got lights in the ceiling, so you can press your lights on or off, okay, on both sides, this side and this side. This one, these will turn off the lights at certain points, so like if you open the car door, you can tell it if you want the lights to come on or not. Little place for your sunglasses up in the ceiling, a little cubby hole for things up there. I think I'm pretty much done, guys. You will have to tell me if you think I've done a good enough job explaining the basics of the MX-30. It is really Guru Chelsea that we need to talk us through most of this, but hopefully that's given you the basics that you need for, you know, getting going. I've driven the MX-30 a few times now. I think it's fantastic. It drives so well. It just feels like a car when you're driving it. There is talk about, or there is a range extender coming next year. Not sure how much it's going to be, not sure how much it's going to increase the range by, but you will have an adaptation to be able to fit in the front to massively increase the range on this car, which currently is claimed by Mazda at 124 miles. I do know from a previous customer who's already bought one of these, said that he has got over 160 miles of range out of it, went from a full charge by using the regenerative braking system. So yeah, on the whole, very good car. It looks fantastic, it drives great, it's loaded with spec, and I really hope that this video has been useful for you. So as usual, please like the video, please pop your comments or your questions in the box below. Guru Tom is out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.